Hi Tahola, Namibia. Welcome to The Tribe here on One Africa TV. My name is Shea Ulenga and this is where we flame it out local and loud. For this week's Tribe exclusive, we feature Namibian musical genius and hit producer Kanibal 2.0. I'll ask him about that later. Here to talk all things production, the industry, his oma piano and his 2 cents on this and that.
When you need one, they say they're everywhere, but I ain't seen one. Tell me, do only Chris?
This is Kanibal. Thank you for tuning in. You are watching The Tribe on One Africa
So much good
TV.
and so much evil everywhere. I'm not sure if it's a dream or a nightmare. Tomorrow, the sun will. Somebody make me president, so that every sick person can get free medicine. So the money.
Welcome back to The Tribe on One Africa TV. We're kicking it with our Tribe exclusive guest, Kanibal. We just played you the classic corner, and it seems like a whole lot of aromat has been spiced on over the years, because you don't look the same no more, you guys don't sound the same no more, but it's so beautiful to see the beginning of where everything started and how hip-hop in Namibia was such a united front at the time. You had a radio presenter, you the producer, as well as the hip-hop and R&B cats coming together. What's up? What was that about at that time?
And a 16-year-old KK.
16-year-old KK. Yes, grown man, by the way, now.
Yeah,
setting,
grown man with 2 children. Nice.
Setting things straight, nice.
Yeah.
What was those experiences in those days like? Like, wow, what was different then from what it is now?
We stuck together and we had a common goal. The common goal was, there's an interesting thing about that. That's the first hip-hop song to ever be nominated for Song of the Year.
For Song of the Year, that's right.
The reason it popped off so big is because of, I figured it out a long time ago that music is very driven by emotions. You have to make people feel a certain way. And one of the most important emotions to human beings and to human psychology is pride. They want to be proud. They want to say, that's our person.
Those are our things.
Those are our things. 061, Vendo, Kona. That's
That's what it is. And for many, many Namibians, that's the message it carried, because from there on, the culture of dubbing your town as the 061 or 064 or 066 came up. And that's what hip-hop has always done throughout history.
People were proud of them. They were proud, and they need to, as long as we continue our Namibian identity in our music, we can't go wrong.
We can't go wrong.
Everybody around us is doing it. All the other countries are doing it. We just caught up late. Now that we have caught up, let's keep going.
Let's talk about that caught up. What is your opinion or your view of how music has transitioned, what hip-hop cats in particular are doing now in the music, and maybe things that we could do better in order to improve where we are?
I see a lot of the talent is obviously talent will always be there. I see a lot of artists going back to the thing of following foreign trends
constantly.
We need to curb that. As long as we curb that, the artists with the talent are there.
Yeah.
They are there. It's not long until we see a big breakthrough international act from Namibia.
We spoke a little earlier on about...
let me not say that. Sorry. Ease won Dungas the other day.
Who's Got Talent? Germany's Got Talent.
Yeah. So shout out to Ease. Yeah.
Shout out to Ease. Okay. We spoke about Jericho a little bit earlier on and how he was one of the founding rappers for this industry, the hip-hop industry in particular. Let's talk a bit about your involvement in his latest album, The Recovery. You guys had this chat with Paula. You were doing a verses with the Oma Piano as well as his Recovery album. What was going through your head? What did you do for his work?
Okay, on the album, I deliberately did not get involved in the work of his album because that was handled by Jericho, by Jericho and Alvo, so I can be more involved in his actual personal life. I think we all know he's had an eventful life, and every now and then he needs a person to grab his hand and say, my brother, let's do this, and that is a big brother to me. He's always been like I care more about the person than the musician. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be involved on his next album. We've already started working on that.
That's super. That sounds good. Knowing that Jay Twiz is going to have a next project, that sounds good. Not only are you a producer, but you've been involved in shaping the social conscious, if I can put it like that, of today's youth as a radio presenter, and also involved in the establishment of Kota FM, which is currently kicking butts all over. What role do you play in that establishment?
Supposedly, as I was told when I was called in for it, is that it's a project that was sitting there, a theory that was sitting there for 6-7 years and it never got off the ground. So Anthony Aukab called me and said, I think you can do this, can you not? So I established it in December last year. It went live in May. And so now I act as the station manager and one of the salespeople. And
just play roles, different roles, of course. I mean, that's how that's when the thing starts. You just take where you can and run with that.
Yeah. Until somebody else can do that.
It can do that. What message do you have for? There's so many young kids listening, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds who were Kanibal where you were years ago, and they sitting there just looking up to you. What would you say to them if they want to follow in your footsteps? If they want to be the next musical genius,
don't let anybody discourage you from chasing your dreams. They're all you have, and everybody has different dreams. Even if our dreams kind of intermingle somewhere, but yours is yours, and if you put in 10,000 hours, you will always be great.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap it up, one more question for you. You have loads of work. You can even release a greatest hits album, but Kani, we want to see more videos. We want to see you in action more. Like, what's the deal with that? Like,
that comes from me just being a shy person.
I'm
an extremely insecure person. It's crippling.
And that's about the music helps with that. It helps you express.
It's crippling.
I think it's important to let people know those parts of your story so people can understand the challenges that one goes through when trying to express yourself through the art and where the inspiration for that expression comes from. And I want to thank you for being so good at doing that. You can have a conversation with Kanibal, but you'll get more out of listening to your music than what you would of just kicking it with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means I achieved what I set out to achieve.
And
thank you for making me comfortable
stop
all the time. I don't do a lot of interviews. I always answer your call.
No, like, peoples, man.
Yeah.
Peoples. Head on over to social media, check him out there, stay up to date with whatever else it is that Kanibal has to offer. But here he is with this one called Sorry Boss on the Tribe.
Yeah. I swear there's something about people from OJ. They just a little bit different. Sharing on Facebook ain't like us. We just connect like the internet. It ain't a myth, these people are just different. Wherever you put them, they got it on lock. Oranje makes diamonds. They say we soft, I say we rock. Left the barber making headlines. Killing rhymes, making deadlines. Had to take time, used to love wine. Know you heard it through the grapevine. I see subliminals from my inferiors. Who are you? I choose to not respond. Maybe call Choba Mupanda. I'm in the house who just lost the plot. I think my girl is complaining, but I do not hear a word she said. I'm too busy with the verbs and nouns, pronouns, cursive script. Straight, I am the proof. Tired, they lie in the booth. Drunk man tell no lies. Alright, bars in bars, I am the truth. Ooh, baby, leave me alone. Pengombiri, ain't no shitty. Pengombiri. Niggas said that I was finished. Pengombiri. Niggas said I was finished. Pengombiri, ain't no shitty. Pengombiri. Don't you feel a little silly? Pengombiri. Pengombiri, ain't no shitty. Pengombiri. Someday I would like to change the world. For now I just wanna fix my life, make it all right.
Welcome back to the Tribe on One Africa TV. We're kicking things off with our Tribe exclusive featuring Namibian Hip-Hop Top Gun. Hey, what did you say? What did you say in that song called Top Gun on my piano? Is it what, something like Tom Cruise, Top Gun? Ah, I'm like, Kani, go Kani. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm well,
you look
I'm well.
Gorgeous.
And thank you so much, Kanibal. Hey, it's grown from the last time that you were here.
Very much.
And then, of course, like I just always like to remind our audiences and our listeners on air when we listen to 99 FM that you were my first Tribe interview ever.
Yeah, I own that.
But that was like because you were in the building already.
Yes.
So it was just easy, like, Kani, you're the first thing on the list. Come on, let's go, man. Let's talk the industry. Let's talk your music. There's been a whole lot of things that have been happening with you. And just remind us, a lot of people don't know you. A lot of peeps born in the early 90s might not be familiar with your music. Remind us of your musical journey.
Okay, I started as a producer when I was in high school. I was a member of the hip-hop group, the Militants. We formed, it is my friends and a couple of my brothers, and that evolved into what became Black Market Music when we brought in other artists, which later evolved into 061 Music.
A lot of people have no idea what kind of influence that you have had with the music industry in the land of the brave. Tell us a bit about, just remind us of your musical journey.
My proudest achievement and what I think defines me is the contribution I have made to hip-hop in Namibia. From taking it from an American version with a whole bunch of people who were trying to be as American as possible to actually grabbing the genre, putting their own spin on it and making it ours.
And you, it's true. There is nobody can attest to that. Because everybody can attest to that because you bought Black Market, like you said. You bought the Militants, and you laid foundations whereby then all the other cats who could understand the language, feel the flows, harmonize, could come on board and actually work on beats that you created. But one thing that was special about you, Kanibal, was that you took the heritage, the Namibian sound, and contributed and added that.
Absolutely, we never have. Well, we have now. We have KP Illist, who is the second artist. Hip-hop artist to win Song of the Year ever.
Ever, yeah.
The first one was Jericho. And Jericho, when I met him, he was doing American hip-hop.
You started Jericho. You gave Jericho Nam flavor.
And we put him in this direction. Like, nobody wants to hear a Namibian Tupac. If we want to hear Namibian Tupac, if we want to hear Tupac, we'll just listen to Tupac.
Exactly, yes.
We want to hear a Namibian doing hip-hop. And he's the one who first took the ball and ran with it and very much captured the hearts of people who speak his language and people who, because they can relate most.
Yeah.
I know what that guy's talking about. I live there.
Yeah. Your last project that everybody's vibing to right now is called Oma Piano. But when you play the first track, which is, by the way, 9 minutes long, you don't hear any Oma Piano. There's basically almost none. You hear piano, the instrument. Tell us about what's the concept and what was the idea to capture your audience and who listens to you.
Okay. First, should we address the album or just Top Gun? Top Gun is a lyricist's song. I put my favorite lyricists on that song. On that song. Yeah. I wanted to hear them rap. That was a song done for me. So that if the whole world hates it, I love it. That's the one. That's my favorite song on the album. That's the one I listen to all the time. And hearing some of the things Hilifa says
in the track. I'm like, listen. Hook us up with the hook. What does it say about Tom Cruise?
You know, Tom Cruise, there's a movie, Top Gun.
Yes.
A series of movies. From the 90s.
Yeah.
When I was growing up.
Yeah.
Yes. Top Gun, which is a fighter pilot. I always knew they would come for me.
Yeah.
They always come for the top one. But that is Mission Impossible, which is another Tom Cruise movie. I'm feeling like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Oh, that went over their heads. All my things go over their heads. They don't understand the
Would you
like a fighter jet.
Like a fighter jet.
Fighter pilot.
Because in Top Gun,
he's a
fighter pilot. Would you put a song like Top Gun on, for instance, the greatest hits album that you're working on and putting together?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's one of my favorite songs that I've ever recorded, ever.
Tell us about what's...
I took my favorite... If Ray, Hilifa, and Synergy had not been on that song, if for some reason I could not have gotten them, I would have deleted it.
Okay. Tell us about your greatest hits project. Talking about that. A little while ago, about a year and a half, you sort of spoke about trying to get that off the ground. I don't think, how often do we get greatest hits albums in Namibia? And yours would obviously be one of the first when it comes to hip hop.
The greatest hits album is done, and it was easy to be done. I took 15 most popular songs by polling on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Took the 15 and then added five new songs. When I was about to send it for printing, it was actually supposed to come out on November 4th or what, my retirement party. Just that week I got a call from an international company trying to carry it.
Okay, so that's still in the pipeline, that's still working.
So I pushed that back just so I can see how this
retirement.
Yeah, bro,
was it that thing there that time? Yeah, you were done.
Last year, I'm done.
Oh, this is it? This is Kanibal. That's a wrap. No more producing, no more rapping.
I'm going to produce. I'm going to do features. I'm going to manage artists and things of that nature. I'm just not going to be releasing.
Okay, no, that's cool. Distributing music is not an easy thing to do in the land of the brave.
Yeah.
How do you get your music out there, and especially when using online or digital platforms? How much has that helped in your case?
I'm lucky that I built relationships. I've been around for 15 years. I built relationships where there are people who I can trust, who can get my music into the right hands at any time. It's important to cultivate such. It's important to, when someone can help you. They always say, be good to everyone. You never know who you're going to need.
Yeah.
You are not likely to find a lot of people that say, I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
Because I try to be good to everybody, because at some stage someone needs me.
Yeah, one day you're going to need somebody to be good to you.
Yeah.
I want to be good to our listeners and our audience right now. Here it is, a classic on the tribe, Kanibal featuring KB, BDP, KK, the late Catty Cat, and Desmond with this one called Kani.
We stay on Mazula, then go back Kupula. The mission is Mullah. We come from the corner. Kani, I got you on the corner. Mirror, baby. Go get it. 6-1, we reside from the corner. Lose your life if you're dead, cross the border. From the Tura, expect the unexpected. Your neck is like Bluetooth, it get disconnected. The gift beef, man, need that shit behind you. WHK, bright lights gon' blind you. Rappers joking too much, hou op met die grappies. Kom na my kassie, ek wees jou lekker okappie.
Freedom Square, you know we don't care. Slap a dude in his face, pull a chick by the hair. I'm ahead on my time, my flow is doing front flips. Y'all niggas is left behind like two butt chicks. I'm in the cast all day with niggas that can't read, but when it comes to the guap, indeed they get the cheese. Still bumping Notorious, so they calling me big. Then Duke stand up like a blunt for the kid. You dig?
Check this out. Lil D. Mission is Mullah. I'm from the corner. I'm from the corner.
I rap the corner, up 6-1 the area code. The niggas bad at green so much they in area mode. Remain a child, let her even when I'm 70 years old. Then dip the heartbeat like the scene ain't no. Born and raised in a corner, yeah, a true thoroughbred. We're sharing, yes, caring, and we do borrow bread. I'm from the corner, and I am so proud of that. Prince of the 061, so nigga, do buy your head.
KK, Little D, Catty Cat, you know me. For the best, who the f*** want test? Go wajita yo mokona tulo chest. The corner girls dress the best. Now the corner girls are the best. To survive, you just gotta do you and try to avoid the swine flu. Stand up.